Well, apparently we are live, and thank you for joining us in this special pop-up live stream. And we'll go into why we're doing the live stream in just a while, just making sure our tech works.
It looks as though everything's all right on here.
Looks like we're also people obviously fire in your comments if you spot any problems, because we are doing a little test today. So obviously we normally go live at 8 p.m. On every Wednesday, but we only take 2 breaks a year. One is during the summer, which should be this week, and the other one is during the Christmas period. But we thought we'd just use this opportunity to test some new technology. So at the moment we are simultaneously, hopefully, streaming to 3 separate platforms at the same time. So hello if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, or if you're on LinkedIn. And I'm just going to look on my laptop to see if we are indeed on LinkedIn. And it's not saying anything at the moment, so that could be a no. But let's have a look.
Well, we're getting comments coming through, I can see.
There's comments.
Yeah, we've got a few in the chat here.
Yeah.
So that seems to be working, but that's coming through Facebook and YouTube. So at the minute, yeah, we're struggling on the LinkedIn side of things.
All right, hold on. I'm just going to try something here. Pop up eFIXX event. It's a little bit completely different on LinkedIn, so don't know what's happening on there. Anyway, you talk away there, Rick. So,
well, I'm not the best person at talking here. I'm probably better off on that laptop rather than being presenting. You're the presenter around here, not me.
Yeah. No, it's just a tell you, nightmare you get on there. What's the comments coming in, Rick? Who's on? Who's on? That's it. I mean, the first thing we said, who's actually not at work?
Well,
should be.
We've got KL in from Russia.
All right, there we go.
We've got Roback from Oxfordshire.
Roback from Oxford. That's a new one for me.
A new one on me as well. Sergio Fernandez. He's about on YouTube. Looks good on YouTube, he says.
All right, well, that's good. We're in the workshop as well today, so.
Yeah. Mr. Cameron, he's about Sergio Fernandez. Yep.
Yeah.
And my talent. Oh.
Don't know what's happening there. So there we go. We've got a pre-live.
So, is it broken already?
I don't think it ever started working on LinkedIn. So there we go. We've got a pre-live, but we haven't got us on there. So anyway, we'll have another try, possibly when Gary's back on holiday. And that's obviously why we're doing this in afternoon. A lot of the team are away, Rick, aren't they? We've been left to our own devices.
That's it, yeah.
And Gary, normally used to seeing Gary, and he's normally someone who wears his heart on his sleeve. But what he doesn't say, he just said he's having a week off doing a bit of decorating. But I've actually found out his wife has booked him a surprise trip of a lifetime. They're actually off up to North Ronaldsay, which is right up in the Orkney Islands. Because Gary, what he doesn't tell you, is really interested in the North Ronaldsay sheep. And there's only 600 breeding females left in the world, nearly extinct, Rick.
Why is that?
But he's had a long felt to go and see some of those sheep. So he's having a few days up in North Ronaldsay looking at the sheep that allegedly just eat seaweed.
And I'm sure he's got his wellies on as well, won't he? Especially in this weather.
He will have done. He'll have taken his wellies. So if you're getting a Calmac ferry anywhere up in the Hebrides, you might see Gary loitering around, or you might see him sat on the edge of a beach talking to some sheep. And we hope he's having a great time up there. He hasn't joined us, has he? He hasn't found a wireless connection up there.
No, not at the moment.
That's one.
We've got a few coming in on over Facebook and YouTube, obviously.
Yeah, well, that's good.
But yeah.
I think I'm going to have to do a separate one to LinkedIn just to test the stream at some point. And obviously the rest of the team, Joe 2.0 is currently in Croatia at a drum and bass festival.
Yeah.
So good luck with that one. If you're a drum and bass fan, please put that in the comments. And Joe is off about to, I think in a couple of weeks' time, he's heading down to Swanage on the south coast. So watch out for Joe 1.0 down there. And apparently he's bought a paddleboard. Hasn't told his wife he's bought a paddleboard, so it could be Joe's divorce when he gets back. Yep. But yes, said he is going to continue doing the news when he's down there. So hopefully we'll have a eFIXX Electrical News Weekly from Joe's paddleboard, which could be quite good. That'd be a bit adventurous, isn't it?
Look privy to that one.
See how he gets his iPod on there. So I guess if you're taking the time to join in, I can see some regulars on there. Hello to Tom Bickerton. Sorry, I didn't. Gary hoodwinked everyone saying I was going to Portsmouth on holiday. I was actually going to Portugal. Hence, I've changed colour a little bit because it was a bit rainy over here. And Tom did offer to buy me a beer if I ever go down to Portsmouth. So that'll be one. So I guess we will hang around as long as we have to this afternoon. We'll show you some of the stuff we're working on, fire in some questions, and we'll try and answer them because this is a little bit of a sneak peek into where Rick does his tool times.
Yeah. So we've got Sean the Spark on. He's on YouTube.
Yeah.
We've got Martin Barrett.
Martin Barrett. I know
Fix it, Enjo.
Martin Barrett, butt crack Barrett, is it?
No.
Different Barrett.
Martin.
Right. Yeah.
Not the Marcus. Yeah, we've got Ollie. He's a regular.
Yeah. Christmas crustacean from Australia. There we go. Another regular in the comments. So it's great to see people. Obviously, at a different time, we can reach slightly different people. Perhaps we need to try this earlier in the morning. Now it is. Yeah. We did mean to do this at lunchtime as well. Which means we haven't had our lunch, Rick. But I did.
Tell you what, Tim Bickerton's just asked the question.
Yeah.
What has Rick had for his lunch today?
Well,
I haven't eaten yet.
We haven't got lunch, but we have got the Makita microwave. And two things happened this morning. I popped it into my local Spar, and inside there, Weatherhead's fantastic butcher up there, up in the Yorkshire Dales. I'll sneak in there in the morning and get a pie. So today we've got brisket pie. So let's have a look at the hand cam. Now I don't like hot pies. And there's my sauce from my bacon sandwich.
What's this?
This is a brisket beef brisket pie, Rick.
Never tried one of them before.
So you like a hot pie?
I do.
So we'll try the old Makita microwave. So let's power up the old Makita microwave and see how that does. How long do you reckon for that, Rick?
Let's give it a minute.
A minute?
I'd normally give it a minute, so why change anything?
Yeah.
Huh? It's as good as rest.
There's seconds on minute. There we go. A minute, 500 watts. We've got full blast.
Oh, that was a bit of an
anti-climax. There we go. We're off. So we'll leave that. Hopefully that's not too noisy in the background. I'll talk louder. And also when I was in the Spar this morning, which is the Mr. Beast chocolate. Can you believe that? This could be you, Rick. This could be a future for you.
Hey up.
We're upside down.
Got some sneak.
So we've got a Mr. Beast crunch chocolate. Amazing, isn't it? How YouTubers are trying that. So we'll have our pies, and we'll try that. And it's interesting. Now, American for grass-fed milk. That doesn't actually mean if you're in America that the cow's been in a field.
So everybody's jumping on bandwagon, aren't they, with this Prime, these Mr. Beast chocolate bars.
Yeah.
I think Tyson Fury's on something in there as well.
There was a life-size Mr. Beast stood in the middle of the Spar this morning, so I did a double take. So get this, £2.49.
Wow.
They greed it off you.
Yeah, it must be good.
It must be good. It's only got 6 ingredients. 60 grams. 60 grams for £2.49. Oh. That was a quick minute, wasn't it? So you're going to check if that's hot enough, Rick?
So look.
Looks like it's got a glisten in there, suggesting it's full of fat. But,
smells nice.
Smells good. Smells very good. Want that out? I think it needs another minute.
Is it not?
Yeah, I think it needs another minute. Let's give out another minute. Let me know if you're thinking about buying one of these microwaves. You've got more money than sense if you do. So, do that again.
There we go.
And that while he's doing that, I can test mine out because I don't like them hot. Yeah.
Very good.
Delicious. I had one yesterday actually.
Oh, did you?
I was out with Ross yesterday. We're installing a defibrillator, which hopefully we'll get a video out of in the past, and I just happened to pass back the shop. A bit peckish, I'll get one of them.
It'll be double time at CrossFit then, eh?
It'll be double time. There's actually 50 people on as well, which is good. So, save your appetite for mass stabs. Well, we could have done, but unfortunately, because we're live in the afternoon, we're not going to get down to mass stabs. So, unless that is, that's Abel on. I suspect he's on. Actually, he is on. So sorry.
He is. Just looking here, yeah. Not this week, eh?
Yeah.
Not this week.
But we are working on a solution for another problem we've got. It's related to mass stabs. I'm not going to tell you about it yet. Right, oh, look at that steaming now, Rick.
I think it's hot now.
There we go. Bring that on there. You start tucking into that, Rick. What other questions have we got coming in? Taking everyone's hungry.
Jumped out the bottom of this. Look at the state on that. Wow. Let's have a little look at this, eh? Anyways.
This is delicious.
We'll still try it. It smells alright.
Got people in from all over Pakistan. North Ronaldsay Lighthouse, someone's been up there, so someone's been. Sergio Fernandez has actually been to North like Ronaldsay.
My mother's online as well.
Oh, Rick's mum. Say hello to your mum, Rick.
Hello, Mum.
There you go.
She's nipped in on Facebook saying hello from London. They've nipped down to London this week.
Have they?
Yeah.
Who's down there?
So there's my cousin, her fella,
a
couple of friends, and my uncle, as well as my mum. But they've just gone on a 3-day outing.
And good. And they didn't want to take you?
I've obviously got to work, haven't I?
Yeah.
You'd have been on your own, wouldn't you, this week, otherwise?
I would have been on my own, so... bit of a lag on my device here. We're still on the chocolate here. But, let's have a look. Rick's time, no time for cookies. Some sensitive Prime energy drinks. I think Joe's a big fan of them.
So's Josh, my lad.
Really?
Every time we see him go into Morrison's, he tries to rob me for one.
Oh. Well, that's good. Some of the other stuff we can have a look at that we're working on. Yeah, is that too hot to eat now?
Well, I'm just letting it cool down a bit. Be one of those, I'll bite into it too quick. It's like eating pizza, like it burns the roof of your mouth. But, I'll have a try on this.
Alright.
Yeah, they're good then.
I don't recommend them, and actually,
Yeah, they're good.
we've only used a quarter of the battery on one of the Makita batteries on that. So we'll do a review on that when we get a chance. But so far, it's actually quite good. The only problem with it, you need enormous batteries for it. So these are the XGT series batteries, which puts you up at the bigger 40-volt ones, but they are an absolute fortune. So that's not for the faint-hearted when you're going to buy one of them. Some of the other things we're working on at the minute. Gary did a video about control systems with Eddie Clemens out on site, which proved quite popular. So it's reminded us to leap back into something we've had for ages, and that is the world's smallest PLC. Now, we don't mean company PLC. We're not a private limited company. We're a programmable logic controller, and we've got it here, Rick, haven't we? So we're just...
been having a play around with this today.
Yeah, it'll look fantastic in the video when we get to it. Because we're just working out how small the enclosure should have been, and we're pushing it on space. It's the world's smallest PLC, and we still need loads of room for the DIN rail terminal. So we're doing that at the minute, and we'll hopefully we'll have that out in a couple of weeks. But it's looking quite good, isn't it, Rick?
I'm just enjoying it, me. Especially all the functionality that you get with the inputs and outputs.
Yeah.
Just messing around and having a bit of a play around. I think there'll be a bit of surprise for them when they get back from work, back from their holidays.
They will. It solves this. What we're actually doing, this control system we're working on now, solves a big problem for us here in the workshop and the smallest room in the house. This is the second smallest room in the house, and it's a problem in here, especially on Thursday mornings, and it's an even bigger problem in the smallest room now. So we've got a solution for it at last. We've had the hardware's been in for ages. We just needed to get around to the controls. We're doing that. We're going to use the ferret with it as well. We've got the ferret.
Yep, so we've got the ferret there. And
loads of stuff.
we'll pair that up with a...
What do you want? Push button?
One of these, yeah.
Your mushroom push button.
Yeah, so we've got... let's get this cam out. So we've got the push button.
I'll finish my pie while
where
you're
we've
doing
smuggled away. I think it's the bogey board. So as I trigger this, there we go. It's sending out an RF signal, which should receive by the ferret, and it makes that independently wireless, powered by I think it's a 3-volt cell battery.
Yeah.
So yeah, spot on that. So when you're in the workshop and you're not maybe in the the water closet,
Yeah.
you can get a bit of extraction in here as well.
Letting it out
Giving
the
time
bag.
away.
Anyway, it will be a surprise for visitors to hear, because we've got some things we're working on with that. If anyone's got any questions on control systems and things like that, a bit of a trip down memory lane for me, because it's been a long time since I've done one, or a panel. I'm sure things have moved on. Rick's got it easy because he can program the Millennium with It's just drag and drop, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Where back in the day,
It's fairly intuitive.
New College Durham, I had a course on how to program Allen Bradley PLC and used to do it on a 7-segment LED display with ladder logic. And anyone who's worked on PLCs that have been programmed with ladder logic, and you turn up the site and there's just a ream of printed stuff with all the rungs of the ladder in there, try to work out that and then reprogram it on a 7-segment display.
Yeah, it's a bit simpler, is that?
They've taken all the fun out of it.
Drag and drop, linking lines, input to output. Yeah, very easy.
Nick's right, what am I doing eating? I normally don't eat lunch. I'm not big on lunch. But these were that tasty yesterday when I had an impromptu site visit with Ross. I just thought I'd best have another one. And treat Rick, because everyone knows Rick likes his lunch.
You'd have thought these didn't eat. It just happens to be that it's me that they take photos of and share them out over all platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because nobody else is eating chips at the same time, are they?
Yeah. Mr. Cameron's asking, who's the founder / CEO of eFIXX? I don't think we've got a title of CEO, but there's 4 people founded eFIXX. Myself, Steve Errol, who you never see, who's also on holiday at the minute. And then we're joined by Gary and Joe. Joe 1.0, and that made up the eFIXX team. And then we had Joe 2.0, and then Rick. So there we go. And then Jenny now as well.
Now, yeah.
Who, if you haven't seen the Generation game, I do recommend you tune in to the last from 2 weeks ago. That was a great addition to the Generation game. Do you remember the Generation game? Original version?
No.
Anyway.
No.
A bit greasy that part. I need something to wipe my hands on now. So.
It'll have to be your pants.
No, just it's that time method. What we've been doing.
Right.
So, I'll finish this.
Taking
Who else is on
chewing.
it?
Taking some chewing now. So what are we on to next then? Are we having a look at the...
Well, before we go on that, one other thing. Vargo, always good for innovation. Tiny little, we're using the top job terminals in here, we've looked at before. And I always have a rule with control system. I always pick the wrong size enclosure. You think we'll easily get that all in one enclosure. And by the time you put all the DIN rail terminals in there, you fill it up. And even though we're using the world's smallest PLC, which is this little device here, it's only 1 module wide, and it's got 8 I/O ports on it.
I mean, if you put your hand at the side of it just to give it a bit of look at the size of them hands.
Yeah.
Just to give it a bit of scale.
Shaking.
So it's about the length of a finger.
Yeah, and this is a 22mm push button as well. So yeah, you just get this side. That is it's MCB size. We want 1 DIN rail module wide. However, so we've got the DIN rail top terminals there. We can obviously go for double stackers if we want a bit of room. But I've just released these as well. The Top Job Minis, which are tiny. Now, just again to put them into concept, that's a miniature DIN rail as well. So that's not a full-size DIN rail. That's a mini DIN rail.
How many different types is there?
Loads of DIN rails. Right? So anyone back in the past in control system, the terminals used to go on what was called a G rail, not named after me. But it was there was a special rail just for terminals to clip in on the G rail. So you had your devices on the DIN rail, and then these on the DIN. Now they've gone smaller. So if you really push for space, possibly doing some lighting junction box and stuff on signals and stuff like that, they still have got a high current rating. But I think that's an interesting review of the new addition to the Wago range.
So what are they go down to? What's that? 1mm, 1.5? Or?
Yeah, there's a small. These are the smaller ones.
So do they do a bigger version of these?
They do, Rick. It's at the other side of the room.
So.
Mm.
Asking too many questions.
Asking too many, getting too excited on these. So
I'm just thinking I'm running out of space in this box.
If we fail, and you can actually get an adapter that puts them onto the full-sized DIN rail as well. So that's good. And then I've also learned this week that Wago do little relay modules built into...
as it's turning up today, isn't it?
Apparently there's a problem at RS. It said it was in stock for next day delivery and it didn't turn up.
We've got a cover.
I've ordered another one, so 10th of August. So Wago make PCB metaverse. They do. Wago make absolutely loads of PCB terminals. Yeah, a lot of lighting ballasts used to have them on. So it's again a cage clamp version. But yeah, PCB ones, they do loads of them. So there's a few other brands are available as well. But there we go. Good question. Nick's asking too many technical questions. How do you rate the pie out of 10, Rick? How are you halfway through that? Go on, take another bite just to...
I think it's good. It's good.
Okay. Look at the mess he's making. Let's watch this is going here. Put the hand cam on there. Just vanishes down there.
Got that.
There we go. Could be a new session here. Lunch with Rick.
Well, look at all this mankiness coming out of it.
Jelly. All right, Rick. Yeah. We'll see. Anyway, that's... Oh, we've seen all the bad stuff there behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Gosh, still a lot of people. Really is anyone actually at work today? That's an interesting one for the... So
no, because it's not dinner time, is it?
We're just sort of... Yeah, but this is sort of afternoon. This is a sort of tea break, or perhaps just... Some people will have finished. South Manchester Electric will be back home by now.
He'll be tucked in, won't he?
Yeah, because he's got his spit gun.
He'll be watching reruns of last season.
The other thing we've just had turn up today, an unboxing. We can do an unboxing, Rick. So we're doing a lot of stuff coming up on solar. We've had a massive delivery from SunSync of different inverters and things like that. We've got loads of Q&As to do, CPD, stuff like that coming along. I know there's lots of people on there who like to do a CPD, keep the NIC, EIC happy, and NAPE it as well. But loads of people have asked for solar, and we've got tons of stuff coming on solar. But one of the crucial things about solar is those pesky MC4 connectors. And there is only one original MC4 connector made by Staubli, and they've made a toolbox for it, and I've been after this since Solar and Storage last year, and it's finally turned up this week. So if you go on hand cam, Rick, I shall unbox.
There we go.
So this is the Staubli. So you already know you're into a bit of quality when it turns up in an L box. And there, hold on, take away the destructions. We won't need to read them. And inside, we've got the all-important MC4 crimper.
It's got a bit of a wearer look to it.
It has, but I mean, it was one thing I've learned about this. You're going to need big hands to operate this, Rick. There we go. I've never got anyone with small hands. So we've got the Staubli MC4 crimper. That's just made for the open crimp terminals in MC4 connectors. And there's even a little add-on device comes with it that allows you to get the barrel of the connectors perfectly straight and level loaded into them when you crimp them. So it's got that in there, which is quite good. I'll try and put that in the box. It has got some wire strippers just for the solar cable that look quite... actually, they look quite good. Actually. This is the first time I've had them out of the box here. So you've got the stop to get the length just perfectly right. And then obviously for different sizes of solar cable.
Sound very robust.
Oh, Eureka quality on that.
Your forearms will be bulging in no time.
Yeah, we'll want to finish those crimpers. We've got another barrel holding device. So there's two. Staubli actually make another. That's for the Evo 2, which goes to higher voltages when it comes to MC4 connectors. We've got some cloppers here. They seem to be branded up. Oh, shears. Oh, look at them. Again, look at that. You're going to need big hands once you lose them. You're right over there. Look at that.
Okay.
Don't let that spring. I'm not surprised it's got a thing on it to keep it shut, because if you let that go,
take someone's eye out.
Take someone's eye out. So we've got that, and the important bit. So this goes on the back shell of an MC4 connector, and obviously MC4 connectors are waterproof.
So it's not for fixing spark plugs in.
Not for fixing spark plugs. I was a bit worried at first when you saw this. I thought, wow, we're into impact driver territory here. Hold on, what we're doing here. And that goes on to this little torque settable device from Vera. Is it Vera? Did we settle on Vera?
Vera, my lovely grandma.
Yeah. So that goes in there, so you can get the torque exactly right on the back of MC4 connectors. Now, this is taking me ages to get this. How do you get that out of there? Don't know. There we go. Pull it forward. So we've got that. We're looking forward to having a go at that. That won't come out when you've got greasy hands after eating the Weatherhead's pie. And another bit, little depth gauges to check that the pin has gone into MC4 connector correctly. Now there should be another one in here, but I don't know where it's gone. So
yeah, that's what'll happen with that one eventually.
Yeah, we'll lose it. So we've got that. So that is literally just dropped. First time I've taken it there, and we're going to get that out of there. Oh, there we go. Done it now. So we'll put that through its paces and talk a little bit about MC4 connectors. Can't touch this with MC hammer. So we've got some destructions in there.
Go on then, pop them in, stick them in there.
We'll get that. Hold on, put that the wrong way around. Oh, God. Yeah, put that the wrong. There's a way to put everything back in the box. Let's have a look. Any more questions coming in, Rick, while we're messing around with that?
Let's have a little flick through here.
Nice kit. Oh yes, people have asked. It does exist. Yeah, there was one on display at Solar Storage last year, and that was in October time. So that's literally how long I've waited for it.
Mr. Ramo says that pie looks good.
Hold on, we'll move on to the chocolate. Let's try some Mr. Beast chocolate. So this is the Crunch Bar. Oh, you haven't finished your pie yet, Rick. Are you going to finish that? I'll save you a bit of chocolate. So this is the Mr. Beast Crunch Bar. Who used to do a Crunch Bar? This reminds me of something here.
Crunchy.
No. Nestle. Someone used to do one with like bits of Rice Krispie in it.
Looks like a toffee crisp.
No, not a toffee. That's right.
Will it be popping in your mouth?
No.
This is falling to bits on me, is this pie? It really is.
No, it's not popping candy or anything. It is just regular chocolate with bits of Rice Krispie in it.
Look at that.
Off the cow there. It's all right. Was it worth £2.49? Probably not.
Probably not.
And we're not going to microwave it either. Let's have a look. Crimper looks like Xylo. Yeah, I mean, it's crimpers. I suspect there's a few bits in that box that are badged in from other people. But the bit I couldn't get from anyone else was that back shell to tighten the back shell on the connectors just to the right torque to get the waterproof rating.
Keith Gill says Nestle Crunch.
That was it. That was it. Nestle Crunch. You used to get them years ago in the vending machines at the railway station.
Yeah.
No, Newcastle Central. Always used to have them in there. There's a trip down. Well, we're all down memory lane today. The other thing a lot of people asked about. We recently reviewed the MK connected power socket, which has done phenomenal views, and thanks everyone who watched that and fed back on that. People obviously went off and suddenly Googled the price for it, and it comes up at the line item price at CEF, and people are like, it's a £200 socket, which is at CEF prices for one, then plus the hub. But it's not designed for home use. It is for those commercial industrial applications. I'm led to believe the project price falls away significantly when you get into the realms of talking about a sensible project with obviously more than one socket on it.
Yeah.
But it is still a first for industry, and anyone who works in it, obviously saving power in industry. Although you think, oh well, that socket might be, even if it was £150, even if it was £200, if you find the right application, you soon munch through that power saving. It's like literally, you leave a 2 kilowatt heater on overnight, you've suddenly, boom, £20 worth of electricity consumed, and they are selling it. So they are finding applications for it in all sorts of places.
And I think it was mentioned before, weren't it? If you had it in your office and someone snuck in that foot heater up,
yeah,
and then forgets to turn it off or even has it on for the starters, you can cap it or turn it off.
Yeah, no, just clever. And I once lived in some student accommodation that had a 2 amp circuit break above the door in every room, and that was your limit.
Yeah.
2 amps. So obviously we used to plug in the corridor and take an extension lead in where they had the 13 amp socket. So that would stop that. There we go. What's this? So Rick is doing got all on solar question. Let's have a look. Does it taste like cooking chocolate? No, it doesn't actually. It actually tastes quite well. Right, let's have a look. Ooh, technical question for you here, Rick.
Oh no.
4,500 watts of panel with a 3.68 inverter, or the same panels with a 5 kilowatt inverter will generate more or less the same over a year compared to a 5 kilowatt panel with 5 kilowatt inverter with, will it generate the same? So we're overspecking the panels on the smaller inverter to make sure you've got maximum output at the same time of year. Good question. I would have said off the top of my head yes, but willing to be corrected on that one, Nick. So there we go.
Yeah, but I mean that 450 watts. Is that saying if you're getting 100% of the panel's performance?
Yeah, it's maximum power. So people are generally oversizing panels to get more output in winter. But will 5 kilowatt inverter with 5 kilowatt panels generate more or less the same? There shouldn't be any more losses. It'd be interesting to know. I'd say it was the same, but we'll wait. We're going through this. And interestingly, there was another major issue. You know, we've been looking for the code of practice for solar panel installations.
Yep.
And the battery one. We've been tracking it down for months. Yep. There's been a confession.
Go on.
It's not me.
Well, it's not me.
I noticed we must have tidied up because all the books are back in one place.
I think we might have been blaming BSI at one point.
Yeah, we thought Graham Kenyon would come in when he was on the live stream and had accidentally picked up our copy, and he wrote it, so he should have loads, and went home with it. Joe Robinson's fessed up. He took it home.
I'm surprised he had smuggled it in.
Yeah.
With some of his trunking and loading boards that got left here.
Well, he brings all that back, but he didn't didn't have his library card, and he's taken something out of the library, and he hasn't returned it. But that was the one. So that's good. Still plenty of people on. There's still plenty more questions still coming in there, Rick.
I must be behind with these.
Yeah, it's faster
with
on
these
YouTube.
Comments.
It's faster on YouTube.
It's faster over there. You've got quicker internet.
Well, the floor does slope that way. If you ever notice that in the workshop, Gary has a little step that he jacks himself up on so he doesn't look smaller when he's at that side of the workshop. There's a drain in the corner and things flow down to that side.
Get Dynarod in or something to sort out, send a line down.
Yeah.
What have we got here?
Oversized panel. There we go. Sandy McNair's in with an answer. Oversized panel. Oh dear. So Joe says he's so ashamed of being shamed about his taking stuff from the library and not returning it, and wait until the Marshall Tough Leg stuff gets dropped off, which is a CPD that's coming out soon on underfloor trunking systems. So the kind of things you have in, again, commercial applications, offices where you've got a raised floor. You have bus bar trunking under that, and Joe's been looking at that. He's even been on site.
I think Joe's in the comments as
he
well.
Is.
I'm ashamed. In fact, I'll post it on screen. Yeah, Paul Rooney is saying, is it a PLC system that we use for the time clock on the challenge wall?
It's not actually. That's a good question. A lot of people. So I actually bought them from a well-known online retailer that does next day free delivery, and you can actually buy a big start-stop timer, and it just has. We use the same mushroom buttons that you've seen before, and those timers just have a stop and start contact into them, and once you've put it into countdown mode, it just fires them away. But it could be a little project for us, that, Rick. Ooh, little timer. So Rick's getting into his PLC probably. He likes it now. He's into.
Well, I think I liked it before. I just a little bit more now.
Yeah, now he's got it working.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could do a counter timer out. Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Ringing bells.
Yeah, we could have all sorts. Warning counter's gone. But a good question, yeah. But I think the countdown timers for the wall are actually about £300 each. So even quite expensive for that well-known online retailer. There we go. What we got here? 5 kilowatt inverter will supply more power to the property if it has a maximum higher output in island mode. I think, yes, that generally is what we're seeing. But it's one of those funny things on solar inverters that people say, I've got 10 kilowatts of battery, but you can only discharge them at 3 kilowatts. So if you had an instance where you were running your huge induction hob at full blast to get your tea ready, Rick, you would be drawing some stuff in from the grid and off the battery.
Yeah.
So it's good. But we're going to dive into a lot of that stuff on solar stuff. We've got to find a home for an 80 kilowatt inverter. If anyone's got any,
Can try it mine if you want.
you're going to need a bigger roof.
I might share it with street then.
You can line them all down the street.
There's a row of 5 houses on where I live, so I'm sure if I ask them nicely.
Oh geez, Radio Caroline now uses solar panels to generate a good portion of the power. I didn't realise Radio Caroline was still out there. Rick, do you know what Radio Caroline is?
I'm a clue.
Haven't a clue?
No.
Oh, well, pirate radio ship.
Pirate radio.
I think off the coast, off past the Wash or somewhere like that. Yeah, there's a film about it. If anyone can remember the film,
it does ring a bell. It does ring a bell, but I don't know much about it.
Back in the day,
and
this is I think from Gary's time actually says you couldn't get commercial radio. You had to listen to when he was listening to the wireless.
Wireless.
You could only get the BBC, and everyone spoke incredibly posh.
What radios were about this tall from the floor?
Yeah, made out of mahogany.
Mahogany. Yeah.
Made out of mahogany. And so Radio Caroline started outside of UK territorial waters, broadcasting from there because they were just outside they could send the signal in, but it meant the DJs had to work on a ship. And there is a film about it. If anyone can remember the name of the film, fire that in the comments actually. So there we go. Rick, Nick's got a question. I've got a fun one coming on the channel. 2 batteries from 2 different makes, will they fight each other? So do you mean 2 batteries on the same inverter and charger, or 2 separate inverters and chargers, so 5 kilowatt on each? So
well, I mean, if he's on about putting them together in the same system, would they work with the CAN bus system?
Yeah. That'd be RS45 based, that Rick, would it? So yeah, we've been talking about buses this morning, and we don't mean the one you catch in the street with Gary's bus pass. So it's an interesting question. 2 different batteries on the same system because there's communication between them.
Sergio Fernandez says, "The boat that rocks."
The boat that rocks. That was it. That was the film. No, top man. He's remembered that. So I've watched it. I recommend watching it.
Did he get the chocolate question and all? Did he get the chocolate question right earlier?
Clearly, or Sergio doesn't work.
No, it wasn't.
And people's got it on Dogger Bank. Yes, it was out in Dogger Bank. Watch the film. It's quite a good film. I seem to remember. Well, I'll do that. I'll just reminisce about it. I'll have a bit of chocolate. Rick, do you want to try a bit of the chocolate?
Yeah, we'll do actually, please.
Nestle, yeah.
Snap a little bit of that off.
Andrew Brown's on. There we go. Hello, Andrew.
Some lovely audio coming through.
Right, the boat that rock Radio Caroline is now back on dry land with a license for 4 kilowatt from Oxford. So there we go. Orfordness. Where's that Orfordness? That sounds like it's out in the flat land somewhere. But,
I'm not keen on that.
You're not keen on that?
No.
What's not getting you on it, Rick?
Is it dark chocolate?
No, I don't think so.
No milk chocolate.
Yeah. But fun as American chocolate can always be funny. I mean, they always rave about Hershey bars over there. And I think they taste like Baby Sick. Oh. Not that I've eaten Baby Sick for a long time. But there you go. But so we'll be Feastables, they call them. Well, perhaps we'll give Mr. Beast a shout out, but I think you need to work on the flavour. There's 4 other flavours to try.
Boosting his channel.
Yeah, we'll give you a leg up, mate, on this.
Yeah.
And so we'll try. There's 4 other flavours, so that means I'll have to pair it with 4 different pies, and we'll see which one comes out of the combination that we like.
We can cross that one off. For me, anyways.
You don't like the crunch. There's one with peanuts in there, and I'm not big on peanuts. I don't mind.
A bit of the same chocolate though.
I don't like whole nut. Yeah, but it might temper it down. It might be the Rice Krispies.
Temper it down. Get a nice glaze on it. Or there's a sprinkling of Rice Krispies.
We might try the chocolate when we come to doing some recipes in the Makita microwave. What do you think? Yeah, but I've got a great microwave curry one. I'm going to try.
As long as we're not tempering it on this desk.
Tempering? Oh, we're on it now, aren't we? We're tempering. You've had your CAN bus. Yeah. Does the RCD work in the event of a fault? Well, it depends. Hold on. It's a 2-part question yet. If the earth cable is not connected or connected with high resistance to earth electrode, yes, the RCD should still work because you become the connection to earth on most stuff. Apart from, obviously, we're going to look at island mode and solar panels as well because that's a completely separate topic. A lot of people leave those outputs floating, which causes a lot of problems with RCDs. Perhaps we'll have to try that, see if someone survives. Bought the rock. Still 39p. We're doing well here, Rick. We're doing well.
I
A little pop-up event. I don't know what else we've got to look at. What else we've got coming up? We've looked at the MC4. We've looked at our control system. There's a box of ferrules. Could it look like the danger?
So what we can talk about.
Yeah.
Is that bonbons?
Bonbons.
The 10 fuses you ordered.
Yeah. Now obviously people.
Oh, they?
Put a hand cam on, Rick. I'll do it. I ordered 10 fuses yesterday, and I don't know if anyone else does this with RS components. Obviously, years ago they introduced the standard supply multiple, and I only wanted 10 fuses. But for some reason, I've ended up with how many?
I thought we were getting 10 packets, but
10 packets of 10.
10 packets of 10, mate. Look at it. So 100.
Yeah, so we've got 100. Well, good maths there. Right? Yeah, so there we go. So 10. Yeah. 10 fine. I've got loads of fuses. Yeah. Oh, I can put it back up. We're upside down there.
There we go.
I don't know if anyone else does that with RS. Sometimes you just misread the catalogue, and does it come in a pack of 10, or do you have to buy 10? So, and it's clearly I messed up yesterday.
I also had a similar scenario. I said me, a colleague who I used to work with. He'd asked for a box of you know, the gloves, disposable gloves. Yeah. Thinking it was be a box of 100. Yeah. With a box of 1,000, ordered 100 boxes of them. He did the same with blue roll as well.
Right, okay.
Ended up building a castle.
The blue roll takes up some space. Yeah, it would do, yeah. Hopefully the gloves and the blue roll don't go together. So, there we go. What have we just done? That just came in. Right, you'll have to watch on catch up now. So there we go. So Ollie's going to leave us now. I think we'll have to leave soon. Do you reckon... right, okay, so that's a good question, David Potter. Do you recommend connecting earth to neutral on an inverter so you can implement the correct RCD protection? So I'd say yes, but it does depend on the, I'm led to believe, and this is so far, it depends on the inverter manufacturer, because it depends on how they've configured the transformer on the converter back to AC. Sometimes they're center tapped, so you can't do it. Loads of manufacturers' instructions are silent on it. But the SunSync one that we've done has an earth neutral bond relay, and we made a little short video about that actually. That you can see how we built that up, because it took us a while to find out what was going on.
And I think sneaked this in as well, didn't we?
And what do you think of Rick's tool bag? There we go. So there's a scam on here. You might bring the hand camera. Go and have a look. Give people a tool bag tour.
A tool bag tour. Right?
Rick's tool bag tour. We might as well.
So we asked the question earlier this week. Should we start doing tool bags of our own?
Merch. That's what we're saying. Merch. Yeah. The only thing we
fully
do
branded
is hats.
They're definitely not stickers.
Yeah.
All embroidered.
Yeah. Tools not included.
Tools not included. Yeah. So that don't mean me.
Yeah.
Some people will be drooling here, won't they now? And there we go.
So there's something happening here. As good tools come in, Rick's putting them in his bag. That seems to be what's happening here. There seems to
definitely what's happening.
Yeah, there seems to be. If it's good, it's going in that bag. So it could be Rick's ultimate tool bag. But anyway, what people using? We're not one for. Yeah, that was a competitively priced tool bag we got there. Let us know what you think of that.
Yeah. I think Eddie asked the question about the couple of tools.
Couple of tools?
A couple of tools.
Oh yeah, so Eddie asked where is the conduit lubricant applicator set is.
I had to store them away somewhere safe, because they'll end up getting lost. So they were in there, and then someone happened to take one.
Is he on holiday at the minute up in North Ronalds?
Happened to take it, and I found it left on side.
Covered in stuff. Yeah. So Eddie, if you're watching, Eddie, you need to do an improvement to the conduit applicator, because obviously when it's been used during the day and you put it back in the toolbox, it's. I
think it was a 20mm one that had been used. It's
still got a bit of muck on it.
Yeah.
So it gets.
And not only that, it was scuffing bag a little bit, so can't be having that.
Yeah. So we need a cover, a sheath or something, a bit like the picker pencil has a sheath, doesn't it? You could need a sheath for the conduit.
So we're saying it's Eddie that sent us it, is it?
Allegedly. Well, Eddie, I think, knows the inventor.
It was a mystery, wasn't it?
Mr. E did it.
Mr. E.
So, but, there we go. Yeah, so Andrew Brown, he's in. So he says, yes, there are some inverters that do centre tap the output by the looks of it. So you get you get a voltage on the neutral in backup mode. So it could be fun. But we'll look at a lot of that. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, how much for the bag?
How much for the bag?
Andrew Fox.
Yeah.
How much for the bag?
With or without the tools?
Yeah.
Probably without the tools, 30 quid. Fully loaded with the tools, about £3,000, I think, with all the stuff that's gone in there.
Those, you know, the grips look a bit rusty. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. Are they my grips? Hold on. Oh, got stuff behind there's mine. Now we looked at the.
These ones. Yeah,
we put a video out with the. You haven't got the whatchamacallums in there. The jokers.
No, the jokers. No, they haven't made their way into the.
Yeah.
Into the bag. I ran out of space, didn't I? Couldn't quite fit it in.
Yeah. Now a lot of people spotted my legacy backhoe wrench in there, which is great, and I've had for ages. It used to have a scale on the side for setting it, which is long gone. But the good thing about this one, you can swap it over. You see, dual function.
Yeah.
You like that? You didn't know that now, did you? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So
is that for nipping it on the inside?
Yeah. So it's yeah, you can see the scale. It's got the marker, but not the scale on there anymore. So
well used.
Well used, that. So we'll put that in the legacy tool drawer, along with Gary's clip and hammer in there. So we've got Gary's clip and hammer. So he uses that. So a lot of Gary's, Gary's cleared his toolbox out. So
there we go.
Yeah.
And a bit. Is there any chocolates in there? Oh no.
No. What have we got here? I've got some of Gary's legacy tools here.
That must be when he's doing toenails.
Yeah, toenails.
Or when he's doing horses, or if he's got
he's forgotten that. He was going to take that up for the sheep.
He's for the sheep.
There we go.
Doing sheep's nails.
We've got the legacy tools in there. Yeah, we've got a fine array of crimpers. Can you ever have too many crimpers? So I think we've got all. And they're still my favourites. Pressman. Actually, they've got a reek of Pressman on that other one, because you need big hands for that for that crimper as well.
Yeah, well, this is the one that me and Joe had. It weren't a race.
No, it wasn't a race. It was a one. So it was interesting. We put the video out, if you haven't seen it, on the Klauker EK50ML, which is a battery-powered crimper tool. Which again, a lot of people outraged in the comments, because obviously it's not a cheap tool. Nope. But it's designed for people who do loads and loads of crimping, and obviously if you're doing them all day, it does tend to wear on the hands after a bit. And if you do it day in, day out, you end up with RSI. Or somebody put in the comments they had to have 2 carpal tunnel operations on the hands, and then they bought the battery-powered crimper. Yeah. So top tip: buy it if you're doing loads of crimps. You want to buy it beforehand. So
prevention's cheaper than the cure.
It is. There you go. It sounds cheap when you do it that way. Unless you can take time off for your carpal tunnel. Well, there we go. I think we're about done. Let's have a look here. Okay. Have we seen a Verso video about AFDD tripping on 4-way extension? No, we haven't, but we have found a lot of people, when they put AFDDs in, is obviously they suddenly find that things are trips. And there's obviously 2 causes for that trip. Sometimes it is the installation, but a lot of the time it's what people are plugging in. So we've seen people with extension leads. We've seen people with poor appliance plugs. Obviously, I don't recommend it, try to put the Euro plug into a British socket. Didn't know you could do that, Rick, would you? You wouldn't have known it, would you?
The Euro plug?
Yeah, the Schuko plug. Put the.
You shouldn't be able to do that.
Apparently. Well, MK have got 3-pin ones, but on some of the other ones, you can just apparently put the screwdriver in the top of the earth and it pushes down the shutters. And you can put in. People are doing that, so there's all sorts of that, or poor appliances, things like that cause problems with AFDDs. Or someone actually did find out it was a faulty socket. It was someone had left the wire. It was actually arcing in the back of the socket. So there's all sorts of.
You mean so it was working?
The FDD was actually working. So
so we're doing its job.
Yeah. And so a lot of people have So they do work. We'll see. Obviously, as people start to put them in. Yeah, but what they won't work on, someone put the other day, I saw it on Facebook, obviously the fountain of all knowledge, they won't work on chargers. So someone had a burned out plug on an Apple phone at the phone end,
Yeah.
and obviously that had out and gone to bits. It won't detect that because the arc is on the secondary side of the transformer and it's completely isolated, and there isn't you're not going to pick an arc signature up for that, or you shouldn't do. Yeah, so again, thanks. So there's loads of people. Give them a good clean with some GT85 on the tools, probably do, but that's a patina that is on there. That is a patina that's gained through years of leaving them out in the rain. So yeah, we'll do that. I'll try the GT85 on the see if the scale's still on the adjustable spanner.
Face, yeah.
But I don't think it is, because I used to work in a factory that had loads of an acidic environment, and it used to destroy your tools that the company paid for. So.
Nathan Bell watching from the beach on the Kos Island.
Oh, Kos Island. Not in Greece, is it?
Yep.
Oh, is it? Can you see smoke in the distance?
And it just he's also bracketed on holiday.
Well, that's good. That's
I suppose he could live there, couldn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, we could, yeah. But it's enjoy your holiday. Enjoy your holiday. So everyone, that's what's got. Is there tobacco tin with small drill bits in that drawer? No, I'm not seeing that.
Oh, but I think there is in another drawer.
Got a little Wago tin. So look at that.
I'm showing you like you can see it.
Put it on, Rick.
There we go. Little Wago tin, just in case. There we go. What's that? I think there's another one as well that we use with the. It's some pin crimps on there. So LinkedIn were a bit of a flop then, wasn't it?
LinkedIn didn't work, so we'll have to have another try at this. Possibly
so there might be another one of these.
Might be another one of these when you're on holiday next week. Where are you off to, Rick?
Nowhere.
Nowhere?
No, nowhere.
Is that near Winterview?
I'm off to Rome.
Rome?
Rome Round Garden.
Yeah. I was just saying Newcastle, we're off to Wargate. Where's Wargate? It's at the bottom of War Garden. But there you go. You'll need to understand the language for that one. Or Winterview. I recommend Winterview. Trip to Winterview. Yeah, it's lovely at this time of year. But obviously, yeah, if you are wondering where Gary is, he is in North Ronalds there, checking out the rare breed sheep up there. It's only 600 pairs left that eat seaweed, and he's had it harbouring in his mind for ages that he wants to go and see those sheep.
So they're not up on the hills then?
No, down by the coastline.
Oh, right. Well, they'd have to be if they like seaweed.
Yeah. Global warming, Rick. It's coming
Unless
in.
there's been that landslide, hasn't there?
Yeah.
Unless they started up on that hill. And
will the team do a video on H? Let's have a look. So that's questions there. Where goes on the road? Yeah, you need those little things. So will HNC NCD? It's a good idea actually. Other qualifications, because a lot of people ask us. Obviously, once you're into the working world of control systems, you start going into another world. And I know Gary's done loads of content on how to become an electrician, but obviously taking that next step up on HND, HNC, we'll try and do that.
So is that the next avenue? You know, if you wanted to start moving into looking at PLC programming, or is it just is it a day course or a 6-week course?
I'll find out actually, because I've had an email in from Rolls-Royce, and that's not the car company. I think it's the company that make the jet engines, and they've put in whether we'd be interested to go and see them down there. So they obviously have a big MRO team, maintenance, repair, operations. So that's the sort of realm when you look at shift maintenance and stuff like that. So we'll find out what qualifications they've got, and well, if anyone's working in maintenance, see if they do temp. I can't imagine them doing temporary permanence at Rolls-Royce factories.
And I wouldn't have thought so.
Yeah, but it's a good port. It's a good port actually. So we shall try that one. Some acrylic alphabet there. Can't read. What else have we got in? Have we got any other questions loitering there that we haven't seen, Rick?
No.
No, that's good. All the numbers keep on going up. We might have to do a Wednesday afternoon session in the future. I mean, we've only got another hour before we finish. Officially, we're putting off getting back to this system.
So the live that they weren't getting in the evening, they're getting now?
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, so as I say, we're just tapping in there to try if we could do the 3 platforms, and we failed abysmally. Thanks for tuning in.
I could finish it. I could finish it the same way with the outro.
The outro,
with the thank you video. You know, see if you can get your name in the credits.
Will, yeah. People have asked that. How do you get in the credit? We're going to look at how do you get in there. I don't know.
Commenting on the live stream.
Yeah.
And the regular viewers get special slots.
Yeah. I mean, we get we say we get loads of comments across all of the videos that we do. I mean, and that actually drives the content that we do. So people raise these questions. We sometimes can't do it straight away because we don't know the answer, but we will try our best to go out and find the answer and get somebody to answer it. That's But you know, like everybody else, we're always learning. You know, Tom's put in there. He's keen. He's doing an HND, but it's Who's got? Let's have a look. What's Nick putting in there? Who's got the best electrical resistant skin? Well, Rick's already electrocuted me numerous occasions, and I'm still here. So at this very bench. So electric shocks, occupational hazard. I don't know. I've got a tiny little scar on the back of my hand that always remembers of painful electric shocks.
I haven't had one yet. So
there you go. So Rick doesn't know is the easy answer.
Because it's a safe isolation and obviously Working Dead.
Yeah, that's it. So that's all we ever do. We haven't got a plug-in lead into this control system that's just on the bench here. But it's a good part. So always a pleasure. Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in this pop-up event. But like I said, keep firing the comments in. Thanks everyone for their support that they do give us. And I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks' time, we have got a bit of a thing on smart home technology. We've got the guys from Cero coming in. Now, if anyone goes back to the videos we make at Park Erin down in Wales, there's a company down there. When we say smart home, it's not your regular smart home televisions popping out the roof and sound systems. It was their Cero group best described as an energy integrator. So they bring together solar, heat pumps, EV charging into one app, so that the homeowner who takes on that their system basically has one app to control everything in the house. And Kieran from there is coming in to talk about what they're doing down at Cero across Wales. That's quite interesting, fascinating story. Really high growth company. So it's two reasons to tune in for that. There's one is to learn about what they're doing because they're ahead of the game in terms of bringing all this technology together. And the second one is they're growing fast as a company. So just to hear about some of the opportunities for people in that industry. Because obviously they're looking to recruit, so we think obviously renewables and things like that. Joining them will be David Kitchener as well, who runs the EI Live trade show, which is taking place in Farnborough in September, and we'll be there. We're chairing 2 days of sessions down at EI Live. Oh, you've got it there. Yeah, so we'll be there. Come along and say hello. So the team will be there for 2 days. There we've got a session in the late morning on every day. Smart home installer secrets. Who's on the panel? There's some people you probably will know from the channel. Definitely you will know Secret Millionaire Craig Gifford. He's on there on one day, and Alex Syme, who won our Smart Home Installer of the Year and a 30 under 30 2 years ago.
And is Gary sitting in on the Smart Talk as well?
Gary's chairing it, Rick. So that's going to be fun. I'm on jury service that week, but Gary's chairing. So get down there, ask Gary some really difficult questions on smart homes.
Because he likes smart technology, doesn't he?
He does. He loves it. Gary loves an app. And then we've got Ray Maloney, who's been on the channel before, talking about lighting as well. And also Michael Gorman, who was on a few weeks ago, also a lighting designer. So get down there, see them. That's good. You can find out more about the show in a couple of weeks' time as well, because we've got David Kitchener, who runs that show, coming on as well to talk about some of the other opportunities in smart homes as well. And that's good. If you're interested in solar, we will be back at Solar and Storage Live later in the year as well. So that, again, a great event if you're looking to get into solar. So that is it. Let's have a look. What's that? No, Joe will work out your price. He's on holiday in Croatia for 2 weeks. So I can tell you there'll be no post for the next 2 weeks, and probably the 2 weeks after that as well.
But probably 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, we're working on the post system, trying to improve that. But we'll
maybe there's something we can do with the PLC control.
I'll put a lot of post a counter. Prizes to be dispatched. Performance. You go into those factories in it where they've got the calls waiting, things like that. Perhaps we need that with a PLC. We'll try. We'll see. Good, right. I think that is it from us. We're going to get back to our Millenium Slim and try and get that boxed up and get our mystery control system working by the time Gary gets back from North Ronald, say, up there, and Joe gets back with his paddleboard and down in Swanage. So watch out. If Joe gets, hopefully if anyone's a member of the RNLI, obviously keep on standby for Joe.
Pre-warn them, yeah.
Pre-warn him, because Joe's going to be taken to the water in a paddleboard, possibly with his auto cue out there, so he can do the news floating in the waters off Swanage. So if and anybody else, just make sure you chip in with your donations to the RNLI, because we might need to save Joe Robinson. But until then, I guess we'll
Let's run the credits.
Let's run the credits, and we'll thank you for watching our podcast.